Welcome to Vedic Astral Science, friends. Let us today simplify the concept of planetary strength or Grahabal in the easiest manner. If you are a go by the book kind of astrologer, then you will go for the complex and intricate details like Sadabal, Binsopakbal, and Vaisesikamsa, etc. But if you are at beginner level, then how will you assess the strength of each planet? So this is the topic of discussion today, planetary strength or Grahabal simplified. Friends, as you can see on the whiteboard, there are two fundamental categories of planets, luminaries and non-luminaries. There are two luminary planets, Sun and Moon, and five non-luminaries, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus and Saturn. So let us take the luminaries first. For Sun, we must give due importance to the Digbal or directional strength of Sun above anything else. So forget the sign placement, forget the exaltation and debilitation, Sadabal, etc. Just look at the directional strength of Sun. The Sun gets highest Digbal in the 10th house or zenith. Okay, the more Sun is close to the 10th house cusp or Bhava Madhya degree of 10th house, the more Digval he will enjoy. It happens every day at around 12 noon or Madhyan or midday. At that time, you will find Sun in the 10th house or just above your head with brilliant and effective rays. So, for people who are born around 12 noon, will find Sun in the 10th house, and for them, Sun will have higher directional strength, and it will be reversed for the people who are born around midnight or 12 o'clock at night. For them, Sun will have zero directional strength. Okay, Sun occupies fourth house or Nadir when it is midnight. Okay, so that should be interpreted as a weak Sun, and in between you should calculate the directional strength in proportion. For example, if your Sun is in the ascendant or first house or in the seventh house, he will still enjoy 50% of his directional strength. You can manually calculate the directional strength of Sun for other houses also by proportion. I have written the percentages of directional strength in the chart. Take a screenshot and refer to it while assessing the directional strength of Sun. For Moon, we should pay attention to the Pakshabal or fortnight strength. Okay? As we know, there are two Pakshas or fortnights, Shukla Paksha or the waxing phase of Moon and Krishna Paksha or the waning phase of Moon. From Krishna Pratipad or the day after full moon to Amavasya or no moon belongs to Krishna Paksha or waning phase of moon. And from Shukla Pratipad or the day after no moon to Purnima or full moon belongs to Shukla Paksha or waxing phase. Okay. In the Purnima Tithi, moon gets the highest amount of Pakshabal due to having maximum distance from the sun. On Purnima Tithi, moon is longitudinally 168 to 180 degrees apart from sun. On each Tithi, distance between moon and sun either increases or decreases by 12 degrees depending upon the phase of moon, okay, whether it is Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha. So in the birth chart of a native who is born on Purnima, you will find moon in the 7th house from sun or just in the opposite house from sun. They will form a 1-7 axis. Like you can see in the chart that sun is in 11th house and moon is occupying the 5th house. On Amavasya Tithi, moon will be longitudinally 12 degrees behind to 0 degrees away from sun. And due to the closeness to sun, moon is astagata or combust here. As you can see in the chart that sun and moon are occupying ninth house or the same house, okay, in the birth chart of a Amavasya born native. And also note that when I am using the word house, I am referring to the house placement according to the Bhav Chalit Kundali and not the Rasi chart. Okay. So on Amavasya, moon gets 0 Pakshabal. So moon will be regarded as weak because of lacking Pakshabal in Amavasya. The more moon is away from sun, the more Pakshabal or fortnight strength moon will be awarded, and the more moon is close to sun, the less Pakshabal she will obtain. And in the middle, you have to calculate the Pakshabal in proportion. For example, in the exact middle of a lunar half or lunar cycle, on Shukla Ashtami or Krishna Ashtami days, moon will have 50% of its Pakshabal. Shukla Ashtami onwards, it increases gradually and becomes 100% on Purnima, and Krishna Ashtami onwards, the Pakshabal decreases gradually and becomes 0 on Amavasya. So, when you assess the strength of moon just by having a glance at the chart, forget the Rasi placement, Varga placement, and all the other details. Just through analyzing the Pakshabal or fortnight strength of moon, you can accurately assess the strength of moon. Alright, friends, now let us look at non luminaries. There are 5 non luminary planets as mentioned before. For these planets, we need to pay due attention to their Chestabal or the strength due to their motion or speed, depending upon their direct and retrograde motion. Most people are aware of these two types of motions, which are direct and retrograde. Apart from these, there are 6 more categories of planetary speeds like Atichari, Mandi, Sigra. Okay, so I am not going into all those details. Let us come back to the topic. Now, let us briefly discuss what is retrogression. In retrogression, a planet from any point of Earth appears to move backwards on its course. It happens because of the distance between Earth, Sun, and the planets, and also for the difference between their orbital speed. You will see the degree of a planet is decreasing during the retrogression period in a Rasi or zodiac sign. Otherwise, retrogression is nothing but an optical illusion, but in astrology, retrogression is very useful for prognostication. Again, we need to categorize the grahas in two categories here: outer planets and inner planets. Outer planets are Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars, and inner planets are Venus and Mercury. Outer planets are retrograde when they are 5 to 9 rasis away from the sun. Okay? When the planet is exactly 180 degrees away from the sun or exactly in the 17 axis from sun, it gets the highest Chestabal. Okay? So same situation like Purnima happens here also. because the more an outer planet is away from sun, it gets illuminated by the direct light from sun. This increases the overall strength of the retrograde outer planet. For example, Saturn. Saturn remains retrograde about 138 days. So, on the 69th day from the day of retrogression, Saturn will gain his highest Chestabal just on the halfway mark. Jupiter remains retrograde about 121 days. So, around the 61st day from the day of retrogression, Jupiter will gain his highest chest hour. Mars remains retrograde for around 72 days. So, he gets full chest hour on the 36th day from the day of retrogression. And if you want to know the dates of planetary retrogression every year, then refer to any standard astrological ephemeris or panchang. All these details are available in the panchang. The rule for retrogression of inner planets are different. It happens due to the difference between the orbital speed of Earth and the retrograde planet concerned. Okay, retrograde inner planets, which are Venus and Mercury. These planets appear to move backwards on their course during their retrogression. Mercury remains retrograde for about 3 weeks, and it gets retrograde 3 times to 4 times in a year. So, very frequent phenomenon, and the Chestabal will be higher during the retrogression period. Venus retrograde occurs when the Earth passes Venus in its orbit, and Chestabal remains higher during this period of retrogression. So, for 5 non-luminary planets, we cannot ignore Chestabal or the retrogression factor of the planets while assessing their planetary strengths. Chestabal is also one of the components of Sadabal calculations, but the point is you must pay good attention to the Chestabal irrespective of the Sadabal strength or score of the planets. The unit of measuring planetary strength are rupa and sasthyans, where one rup is equal to 60 sasthyans. And I am not going into the steps of manual calculation of Chestabal or other planetary strengths like Sadabal here. If you want to learn those things, then you can connect with me on my page and enroll for the paid course where I teach all these mathematical calculations of Vedic astrology. Again, before concluding the video, I must say there is no substitute for Sadabal and Vimsopakabal in Vedic astrology for a complete picture of planetary strength, and you cannot escape learning them if you want to take astrology as a career option. But for those who do not want to go into the detailed mathematical intricacies of Vedic astrology, they can use only these 3 strengths which I have mentioned in this video. Digbal or directional strength for sun, Pakshabal or fortnight strength for moon, and Chestabal or strength due to motion or speed for 5 non-luminaries. So this is all for today, friends, and we'll be back with another astrology video soon. Till then, have a nice time, happy learning, and stay fine.